Hey guys, how's it going? Have any of you ever had an encounter of a wild animal? Because I have. Here in Rupert, there are mountains literally right next to us, and there's a lot of wildlife around. There's owls, eagles, foxes, rabbits, mountain lions too. There have been a few just around my block, at least 2 times that there have been mountain lions that have hidden people's garages or just around their house in general. Mine is actually about a raccoon. It happened last summer, actually right behind me. It was a really hot night when we left the door open because of how hot it was. There's not a whole lot of crime or anything around here, but so we left the door open to let the hot air out and the cool air in or whatever. And it was about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. My dad came up to my room and he shook me. I was kind of scared. I didn't know what was going on. He asked me if any more dogs were in my bed, and I quickly searched, and I had one of them, Jackson. He was right under my covers. But he didn't seem all right or anything. He was just looking around. He was sniffing in the air because he said, there is a wild raccoon outside and on our porch right back here. So I called him crazy because I didn't believe it, of course. I went downstairs, and sure enough, there was a raccoon right there on the porch with our dog Simon. They were like a few feet away from each other, just staring at each other. And I quickly, called in Simon to get inside the house because I didn't want him to get in a fight or get hurt. I was really shocked because we've never had an experience like that, and my heart was pumping, and the thing went up to the glass and put its paws on there and just stared at us for a while until it walked away. And then we made sure all of our dogs were inside, just to be safe, and they were, so that was good. But I went and I looked where we put our dogs' food and stuff, and it was all gone. The cabinet where we keep our cereal in was opened, and the bags were torn open and stuff. So it came in and ate all the dog food, and it got into the cereal. And then my dad tells me about how he thought it was just a dog because he sits in his recliner and sleeps there sometimes. He thought it was one of our dogs scratching at him to get up, but it was sharper, it was like claws were scratching at his feet. And he believed that at least at one point the raccoon actually got up in his lap because he thought it was a dog and he just pushed it away, made it get down. So I thought the encounter was over, A few nights later, I got back from work. I was tired and stuff, and our dogs were just, making all kinds of noise outside in that shed over there. So I went over there to see what it was, and all of a sudden this raccoon just scurries in front of my feet, and it scared me. I almost fell on my butt. It scared me so much. So I tried to chase it away, but I didn't have to because our dogs were right on its tail, and it must have climbed the fence. So we got our dogs in, and we made sure to, make sure that none of them were hurt or anything like that. And whenever they went outside, we would make sure that the raccoon wasn't out there because the last thing we wanted was for them to get hurt. So one point we decided to, actually capture it. So we put some dog food outside in one of those cat cages or whatever to catch wild animals. And it didn't work. It actually never came back. And then a week or 2 later, there was reports of a family that caught the raccoon. And it turned out not to be a wild raccoon. It was actually a very friendly raccoon, and I got to meet it and all of that. It was a really fun experience. It was a pet of someone that lives here around Rupert. Up until then, I've never heard about it, but that's my personal narrative story. Thank you for listening.